So maybe something good could come of it, right? So
I think it will.
hopefully we can make something good come of it. I mean, we can't always choose. We can't always choose all circumstances, right? But we choose what we do in the midst of it, and this is even one of those things as well.
And people are resilient,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. One thing I guess though, that's kind of sad, and I hope it doesn't turn too negative, is resentment between countries and people in the countries like Canada and the States or whatever. That doesn't grow, to be a very big, kind of animosity. But this, I hope things can settle to a point where we don't start hating each other so much, right?
Uh,
And you see some of it is already growing and festering, right? And if it's not careful, those are the kinds of things that do lead to wars. Countries taking over other
yeah.
countries because now they're angry about stuff. And sometimes we think, no, those kinds of things would never happen to us here in North America, like Canada and the States, but they can just as easily as somewhere else when people start to get angry with one another.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would hope that we would maybe avoid, is like not like slow down a little bit with hate and that kind of stuff, and to avoid bitterness.
Absolutely. I'll just say it the way I think it is. It's so immature, right?
Mm,
We were at the Blue Jays home opener this last week, and for us to boo the national anthem,
mm,
that's so immature,
yeah,
in my opinion,
yeah,
right? We were down south, like I was just sharing. They loved us there,
hmm,
so we went to a touristy area for part of our stay, and they actually depend on us coming and spending our money there, right? And
yeah, oh yeah,
so when they did see us, they saw our plate, and or we have different credit cards or whatever, or we talk different,
hmm,
and they're like, "You're from Canada, right? Welcome here." So my beef is social media and the
yeah,
news, like I said earlier, is
yeah,
is they will they're trying to sell stories. So what
yeah,
sells? Negativity.
yeah,
Where's the positive? Where's the good stories?
yeah,
And there's way more good stories than
yeah,
negative stories. But
yeah.
but that the positive stories they don't get likes.
It's not clickbait.
No, it's not clickbait, and that's disappointing to me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I long hope with you that we can rise above
yeah,
and be mature and not believe everything we see on
yeah.
social media.
And maybe trade relations between countries will change. Between Canada and the States, Canada and any other country. And that's fine. Things change, but maybe we could still be friendly. Things are different, and
Absolutely.
maybe things have needed to change anyway, right? So maybe we can make something that's better.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be worse.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to shake something so that you can build something better, right? Break
Yeah.
something so that you can build it up into something maybe better than
Absolutely.
it was.
Yeah.
It's always a possibility, right?
Absolutely.
But I know you mentioned social media and news, and how they can really spin it, and then either one side or the other gets angry. And on the last episode, I talked with James Lunny about this a little bit too, and how, like in the House of Commons, there's what you see on social media or what you see on TV is how they're bickering always in there, or they have all these gotcha lines, or just it doesn't seem productive at all. And he said he thinks it was better before the camera got in there, is what he said. Because he said now it's all all gotcha kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He says he thinks the parties got along better before the cameras were involved, and it's that's kind of the social media thing, right? Like you need something that can go viral,
Yeah.
and so that's oftentimes what we're trying to do, and that's what political parties are doing. That's what news sites are doing. Is they're often just being very sensational, and yeah, it gets clicks, right? And it gets laughs maybe, and but in the end it can be very divisive. and
Yes.
and then, like you mentioned earlier, and then it's hard to know what's even true because both sides are playing the same game,
You hear
right?
one little snippet that's
Yeah,
completely taken out of
yeah,
context.
yeah. And I see it from both sides. I see it from the liberal sides, I see it from the conservative
Yeah.
sides. I see it all the time, and I'm like, oh, can we just you know stick to what's actually real,
Yeah.
right? um but then we can hopefully, maybe we can make a difference, right? We can do something positive in our community.
Absolutely. We can make a positive influence,
Yeah.
a difference in Bayham.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking about local life, Ontario, we're here. So whatever's going to happen in the world, we can still make this small area a good place to live, where we can hopefully get along and help one another.
Absolutely. And to your listeners, other people in their own area
Yeah,
can do the same. We often think little things don't make a difference.
Yeah,
They do.
yeah.
Enough little things can make a huge difference.
Mhm.
Enough little good things can make a huge difference.
Yeah, when one person does it, another person is inspired to do as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
right? And that's what you want to do.
Absolutely.